What is going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to Hippo Supercoach, and today going to be discussing the last 9 players in my top 25 hottest players for 2024. And yeah, so if you're new, make sure you drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. So, first one we're going to be talking about at number 9 is James Sicily. Now, I'm very hot on Sicily just because obviously he's got a crazy ceiling. We do know that. In 2023, he had a high score of 172, and once he got really freed up, he look at this last few games like 134, 134, 172, 158 against North. That wasn't ideal, but then 171, 102, 166. Like I said, crazy high ceiling and plenty of potential to have a better season than last. To be honest, I think yeah, if they keep playing him like completely free, he's just going to go nuts. So 637k, you're paying quite a bit for him, but he's just a very, very reliable defender. Almost guaranteed top 6 in my opinion. Now, moving on to number 8, we have Harry Shiel. So, look, Shiel, I think if he plays backline, he's going to be really good. The only question mark is apparently training with the forwards and even the midfielders, so one to keep an eye on, but if he does play that backline role, I don't see why he would have any issue. Maybe even averaging 105 this year. Averaged 100 last year in his first year, so he's clearly capable of having a big score. And you got to remember, he's probably going to be even better this year because no Jack Zeeble and no Aaron Hall to take any kick-ins away from him. So yeah, Zach Fisher, another re-aggravated hamstring, I hear. So if anything, Shiel stocks go up quite a bit. So yeah, pretty confident on Shiel. If he has the role, he's going to score a lot of points, and he's got the very good buy. That's why he's so high up in this top 25. Moving on past Shiel, it's getting interesting now. We've got Timothy English now. He's back to full training now, so I hear average 128 last year. It's very hard to go past him because he's clearly capable of going massive, like seriously huge. At this point, I think there's just a couple of other guys in front of him, and the price tag is not great. So you could still start English, and he probably will average similarly to what he did last year. But at this point, I just think there's better value in the rucks, as you guys can see in my team with Gordon and Grundy, and we'll talk about them coming soon in the top 10. But yeah, English, we know what he does. He's a stat pad, great for hit out to advantage, can get forward, kick a goal, gets to the back line, gets cheapies. He does everything. A great captain, vice captain option each week as well. So yeah, at this point, English a bit too expensive for me. Can't have them all, but I could see why people would want him. Now, the next guy, Marcus Bontempelli. So, price tag, again, scaring a lot of people off at 724k. For me, I just think he's just too good. He's so unbelievably good with the ball and, averaging 130 last year in his first year as a full-time mid. I think, if anything, he goes maybe even a little bit bigger. Should get maybe even a bit more CBAs with no Baz, and hopefully not too much attention. I think teams started to tag Libba in the end, but obviously maybe Port will go to Bont with Will Drew. I think that's like not a great matchup for Bont. When does he play Port? Let's have a look. He doesn't play them till round 17, so yeah, I think Bont's pretty comfortable without a tag. So yeah, I think for me, Bont is my M1. Now, I think I spoke about fading him in my last video, just because he isn't back to full training, but he is back to full training now. Apparently, it looked unreal at training the other day, or today, or in the intra club, or whatever they have. So yeah, Bont, I just think it's gonna be another big year for Bont, and yeah, probably gonna drop in price. Question is how much, and the question is, will you have the money to get him at his bottom? I don't think it's going to be easy. A lot of people say, oh, we won't start him, we'll get him cheaper. But the thing is, you just have to figure out a way to get at least 600k. I don't see him dropping below that. So, see what happens. Bont's locked into my team for now. At number 5, we have Jordan Dawson. So, Dawson has a lot of upside, I think. 647k. I think, 116 average last year after the move into the midfield. He's an absolute jet, Jordan Dawson, but I do think he'll cop a bit of attention this year. I don't think Laird will cop any attention. It's going to be more Dawson. So that's one thing to worry about. With that being said, he uses the ball very well. He tackles, intercept marks. He can do everything for Supercoach. So I can see why a lot of people are starting Jordan Dawson, but at this point, I'd slightly rather Laird. So yeah, that's my take. Number 4, we have Zack Butts. Now this is a bit of a no-brainer. He's got one of the ideal buys, and I mean the kid's an absolute monster. I think he's going to up his average even a little bit more, probably to like a 116-ish, which is still really, really good for me, or for anyone really. But yeah, apparently trained unreal in their little intra club, or I don't know if it's an intra club or if it's just training. I don't know, like, or just like match scrim. I don't know what they call it. But yeah, Butters, he's a great player to watch. I love having good players to watch that also can score well in my team, because it just makes the whole experience a little bit more enjoyable, I guess. But yeah, Butters, good buy, and just a gun player. So yeah, pretty no-brainer pick, and I think he should be one of the most picked mids this year based on the buys. Now, moving on to the top 3, we finally made it. Things get interesting now. At number 3, obviously, it's Nick Dacos. So, well, it's a tough one because he does cop Finn McGuinness quite early, I believe. Yeah, round 4. That being said, I am not sitting with Nick Dacos out of my team this year. I know he's expensive. I know he's got awkward buys, but I need him from the start. I think the scores he will give us in the games where he doesn't get tagged, they're going to be too big. And who knows, maybe he learns to shake a tag in the off season. I wouldn't, like, the kid is just an absolute monster, and he's so good to watch. And like I said, I would hate to watch Collingwood play and watch him play and not own him. So yeah, I know a lot of people struggled with that last year, and for me, it's not going to happen to me. So yep, whatever with the buys. He's one that's non-negotiable for me. Now, the other two that are non-negotiable, at number 2, it's Grundy. Now, price tag is just so good. I expect him to go 105 plus. His ceiling is 130. Do we think we can get to 130? Probably not quite, but 120 would be really, really nice. It's probably going to be more like a 105 to 115. But if he is sole ruck, there's no reason he can't go 120 plus. We saw the sample size of what he did at Melbourne without Gawn in the team. He was very, very good. For people that lost wits in that little 3-week or 4-week period, Grundy was such a good replacement, and he made people a lot of money. So I think Grundy gets a 600k pretty quickly, and he's going to be a keeper. Does he add average English? Probably not quite, so that's one thing to consider. But yeah, Grundy, great price tag. And at number 1, it's Max Gawn, the original king of not original king of Supercoach, but when I started playing, he was the king of Supercoach. 700k every year, felt like. The guy's back to sole ruck, plain and simple. He's going to go nuts as long as he doesn't get hurt. I don't see why he slowed down. Yeah, Melbourne's still obviously in the hunt for the premiership, so he shouldn't be slowing down at all. Yes, he is a bit older, but look, hit outs to advantage, he dominates, so he's going to get like 50 odd points just from that alone. And then we know what he does around the ground, plenty of marks. Can go forward, kick goals, can go back, take intercept marks. The dude is just a super coach pig, and yeah, I'm expecting a 120 plus season quite comfortably from Max Gawn. He's going to be my VCC every week. Him and Bont, I think, are the safest picks with the biggest ceilings. So yeah, even Dacos as well, obviously. So that's it for the top 25. If you want to look at my team, I don't know how much has changed really. At this point, I'm pretty settled on that mid. I was comparing my team actually last year, how I started to this year, and I had like Lockie, Ash, and Wangani Malera in the midfield. Trust me, guys, that is not going to happen this year. I'm staying away from all the mid prices in the midfield. The only one that slightly tempts me is Matt Crouch. Steele and Tuke Miller also tempting, but at this point, fading them for now. Currently got Taylor Adams in at F2, hoping he plays some mid. If you even get like 30% CBAs, I think he could maybe average in like the 90s, which at 437k, it's probably not the worst thing. And like I said, with the limited forwards we have, it's probably not that big a deal. So if he averages at like 90 odd or 95, yeah, but still plenty of preseason to go. So yeah, like I said, we got to still see some practice matches. We've got to still see round 0. So yeah, plenty to unfold, and it's going to be interesting to see how things go. Video wise, plan on bringing out my top 10 locks. Now, if you guys remember last year, I brought out a video saying no one's a lock, and that's still the case. No one is a lock, but it's going to be the 10 players that I think are the most lock-like or lockish, I guess you could say. So yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Drop a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you on the next one.